The world has not seen anything like this since after the Second World War. This is Ankush from Digital Karma, where we bring you tips, tools, and techniques to make your non-profits or social causes communications better. The vulnerabilities that we see in our society are compounded much more in case of an emergency like the COVID-19. And mind you, no nation in the world has seen a situation as deadly as we are seeing right now since the Second World War. As of 7th April 2020, more than 1.3 million people in the world have been infected by the COVID-19 and there have been more than 74,000 deaths. So trust me when I say this, that no singular entity or organization can address coronavirus in the world right now. Here are 5 simple tips that you can use if you want to start a fundraiser for COVID-19 relief response. Point number 1, and this is the most important point. Now, I understand that you may be sitting at home quarantined or in a lockdown and you may be wondering, what can I do? What can I do for the communities that I'm working with? What can I do for the people who are close to me in my vicinity and are not being looked after by the government? I understand this need, but it's extremely important to review your ability to get into a COVID-19 relief response. Just because you want to do it does not mean that you or your organization may be well equipped to do it. And I know this sounds counterintuitive, that I'm giving you tips to start a relief response, but I'm asking you to review whether or not you should actually start a relief response. Absolutely. If you are a small organization or if you are a virtual organization who does not really have a particular geographical presence, it may not be in your best interest to jump into a relief response because you will be left figuring out too many moving parts. Instead, you can align your organization or yourself with an existing fundraiser or an appeal, which so many other organizations are doing at the moment. It's extremely prudent to use the resources judiciously at this moment. And if that means that you align with a partner organization or someone who's doing this better than what you could be doing, that makes absolute sense. Here's point number 2. Get the most accurate information. Information of the families, the vulnerable communities with whom you wish to work on this COVID-19 relief. Let's understand, in an emergency or in a situation like this, not everybody is affected equally. Even among the vulnerable population, there are those whose vulnerability is higher. Try and obtain disaggregated data. People with disabilities, children with disabilities, single parents or elderly or single children. Try and obtain as much data as possible. In an emergency like this, you want your efforts to go to those who need it the most and who need it the quickest, which is why all of this information is really going to help your fundraiser. It's quite possible that you may think a particular commodity is required, but the community may think differently. The community may be asking for drinking water, whereas you may be mobilizing hand washing soap. So it's important to give focus on what the community wants versus what you may want to give to the community. Let's always remember that the community knows best, and instead of telling them, we should be asking them. Secondly, once you've identified the community and once you've identified their very clear needs, try and get the appeal directly in their words. It could be in the form of photographs, it could be in the form of short videos. Now I understand that you are not supposed to leave your house, you're supposed to stay at home and you're not supposed to travel to your communities possibly. But try and ask them if they can take a short video of their requirements and send that across to you. At a time like this, during an emergency, during a relief crisis, both things happen. One, the number of people who want to help the vulnerable communities is extremely high. But at the same time, what's also high is the level of mistrust and skepticism that individuals have towards organizations. Because, like it or not, there are a few people who might take misadvantage of this situation and want to make money out of this. So make sure that your appeal comes as much as possible, let your appeal come directly from the community members and incorporate that in your communication materials. Also, when it comes to taking an appeal or taking videos or photos from the community, please respect their agency. This is extremely important, especially at a time like this. Let us make sure that we are not putting already at risk populations in further risk. This is especially important in case of children, in case of people who have come out of risk situations, let us not put them at a further risk by disclosing their identity, their names, their exact locations. Let's be careful about these things. Alright, so you've identified the vulnerable population, you've identified their need, identified people from among the community who are going to share an appeal with you. The third step is to identify the platform which you're going to use. Now let's understand, at a time like this, n number of people are coming forth as individuals, as non-profits, or even celebrities or TV hosts. So many people are coming forth to raise funds for the vulnerable people in any way that they can. It's extremely important that you assess what are the platforms where you have most comfort with and you have most number of active followers. Now this could be WhatsApp, this could be an emailer list, this could be a group on Facebook, or this could be Twitter or Instagram or YouTube. Wherever you have your most active community, that becomes your primary channel for the fundraiser appeal. I think everybody in the world right now knows what we are facing. So be very specific. Answer the W questions. Who, what, why, when, where. Let's answer these basic questions and put out a crisp appeal. You could use free apps like Canva, like Adobe Spark, or the iOS app Over. You can use these apps to put together posters. Very crisp yet good looking posters with the photographs from the communities, with the appeal, all the necessary information in terms of the bank or transfer details, and what is this money going to get the donors or the supporters. If there are videos, you can use Adobe Spark Video or Quick or any other app which is easily available to edit. Let's not focus so much on the quality or the brand guidelines. Emergencies are not the time when we should be focusing so much on the brand guidelines of the organizations as much as the rawness of the appeal. If you are sitting and curating the appeal too much, then we are missing the point over here. The point is to be urgent, is to be raw, and to give out the appeal from the community as much as possible, with you playing the role merely as a mediator. This should be amply clear through your communication collaterals. Now I understand how this sounds, and I'm not saying that you should market the rawness of the pain which the community is going through. I know this firsthand. In a flood response in India, TV journalists were beaten up by the community because they wanted to show their pain in a way just to get more TV views, television views. That is not what I'm talking about. What I'm talking about is not over curating the messages, not over curating the videos or photos that you get from the community, not over editing it and putting it out as you are receiving it. And then comes the last and most crucial step, which is to release your fundraising appeal. Share it across, share it profusely, and if I may say so, share it shamelessly. There is absolutely no shame in asking money for those who are in a situation of vulnerability at the moment. You're not asking money for your organization. You are asking money or resources for those who are in dire need and are not being reached out to by other agencies or by the government. There should be absolutely no inhibition in asking money or resources for these populations. But in this, I would like you to follow a 3R approach. Repeat, remind, and reward. Repeat your appeal consistently on your channels, on your social media channels, on your WhatsApp, on your emailer list, on your website. Consistent, repetitive approach is very, very critical so that people know very clearly that this is an urgent ask, this is an urgent appeal. The second one, remind. Remind people what they are giving this for. It's quite possible that once you ask for resources or money, you get it and then you start the relief phase on the ground. And then your focus may shift from asking for the resources to disbursing those resources. Let's not lose focus from the ask, because your ask is going to keep on increasing. So remind people why they are giving. As far as possible, share photos or videos of the relief distribution without making it into a staged photo session. If you think this video was helpful, give me a thumbs up and subscribe to my YouTube channel and follow me on Instagram at Digital Karma with a double A. Also, check out my website digitalkarma.com, again with a double A, where you will find different tips and tools to make your non-profits communications easier and better. Thank you for watching this video. See you all in the next one.